Hello and welcome to this session, which will take you through the new features delivered in Cumulocity during the third quarter of 2024. My name is Anne Pilatus Keller. I work in Cumulocity IoT ecosystem. Our product managers are presenting the latest features and updates, which include a comprehensive set of improvements across several key areas. First, we have enhancements in the area of streaming analytics, improving the real-time data processing capabilities. Next, there are updates in the area of application enablement, which provides you with improvements in the branding editor, within alarm management, and there are enhancements in the cockpit application. The third area of focus is platform services, strengthening the core infrastructure by improving security management in the area of X509 certificates and single sign-on, and there are changes in the messaging service limits. But that's not all. We have also made enhancement in Data Hub. The home page has been improved, as well as the additional columns workflow. So let's get started.
Hi, I'm Rob Jones, and let's spend a few minutes having a look at what's new in streaming analytics in Cumulocity in Q3 2024. So, starting with Analytics Builder, if you make use of the expression block, you've now got a slightly easier way to combine the inputs and the expression you're creating when that expression uses different data types. So you can now combine strings, textual items, and numeric items like floats, which can represent the incoming measurements. You can combine those easily in one line to make the message that goes as part of the output from that block. Previously, you had to use a conversion function on anything that wasn't a string to convert it into a string. So we've just made it just a little bit simpler to write that expression. Staying with Analytics Builder, the next item is that the counter blocks have been enhanced. So if you use counter blocks to determine that you only do a certain operation a fixed number of times, well, you can now change the behavior of that repeated operation using the counter block so the operation stops after a limit has been reached, or that the operation resets and therefore loops around to repeat the operation a fixed number of times. So you could wait for 10 measurements to come in, and then you could send an update message and then do the same operation again, counting to 10 using this block. And you can use this behavior whether you're counting the total number of items that have come in, or whether you're counting the items of the same value, the same number. So it's just a nice usability enhancement to the counter block. And then finally, for streaming analytics in this quarter, we've had a focus on improving the usability of the applications, and you can now use breadcrumbs at the top of the streaming analytics apps to navigate around the streaming analytics app as a whole. So you can see that you can click on those breadcrumb elements to navigate quickly to your model view or to individual models, etc. And that has a nice benefit, because as a part of this work, we can now show the model name or the app name for an EPL app in your bookmarks section of the user menu. So on the right drawer menu under the bookmark section, you can now You could previously create bookmarks, and now you can those bookmarks show you the actual name of the item you've created rather than just showing you the name Streaming Analytics. So that makes using the bookmarks and creating those bookmarks just a bit more useful and straightforward. And that is it for Streaming Analytics this quarter.
Hi everyone, I am Rahul Talreja, Product Manager for IoT Applications, and in this video, I will be covering what's new in application enablement in Cumulocity IoT 2024 Q3 release. With this release, we have enhanced our branding editor. It now provides you with more flexibility over your brand identity across multiple applications. Let's check the new interface. A key new feature in the new interface is the ability to configure unique branding for individual applications. You can now create and easily apply unique brandings to specific applications. Additionally, you now have the option to define a global branding and use it as a fallback. You can now also easily duplicate or export these brandings, making it simpler than ever to backup your configurations or transfer them between environments. This means you can maintain consistent branding across your portfolio while allowing for customizations where needed. Let's try to create a new branding. The new interface has been redesigned for easier navigation and management of your brand elements. We have now also added an option to define a dark theme, which now also allows your user to choose the preferred viewing experience. For the customers where privacy is important, we have now implemented automatic invalidation of cookie consents. When you update your privacy policies, this ensures your users are choosing and consenting to the most up-to-date policies. For those who need more customization, you can now add custom CSS directly from the UI. Also, now users can edit the branding JSON configurations directly from the UI, giving you even more control over your brand settings. Lastly, we have also introduced a color shade generator. Based on your primary brand color, it can now automatically generate a range of complementary shades with the option for fine-tuning them to get exactly the palettes you want. These enhancements to the branding editor offer you better control over your brand identity within our platform. We are confident these tools will help you create a more aligned user experience across all your applications consistent with your business branding. With this release, we are also introducing DTM plugins component. These offer official plugins which can be seamlessly integrated into any Cumulocity UI application. This now allows you to create new applications around assets with ease. Let's check this live. In your administration application, you can now navigate to extensions and search for DTM plugins. Developers will be able to notice the details for including these plugins into shell applications easily. Business users can also directly install these plugins into any applications. We are starting with 2 key plugins here, but in the future we plan to expand this offering with new plugins. The first one is Add Asset module. This now allows you to add an asset creation widget into any UI application and allow users to create assets from any application other than Digital Twin Manager. Our second plugin introduces the existing subasset views and provide you with the possibility to incorporate this into any UI application easily. These new DTM plugins represent our commitment to provide you with powerful, user-friendly tools to manage your IoT ecosystem. We have now added a reusable alarm and event selector component to make selecting alarms and events easier. This new component can be utilized by developers to simplify development for custom applications and as well as will help us to maintain consistency across default applications. For more details on this, please scan the QR code or explore the component live on the Cumulocity IoT Codex. To provide more flexibility and for customizing the alarms list and details view, we have now added hook services for the alarm detail button and as well as the alarm list indicator. This change allows developers to modify the rendering and behavior of these UI elements by implementing the respective hook services interface. Existing alarm list and details view are not affected by this change and will continue to work as it is unless you explicitly customize them via the new hook services. With this release, we have made cockpit application even more modular. Let's check this live. Previously, users could customize the cockpit application through application configuration section, which allowed them disabling specific features like global search or others. To further enhance this customization options, we have now divided the cockpit application into multiple plugins. This improves its modularity and scalability. Administrators now have more granular control over the application. They can tailor the cockpit interface to include only specific features they need, precisely matching their requirements. We have now also added a convenient reset to default option. This allows users to quickly restore the default list of plugins with a single click, making it easy to revert changes if needed. These enhancements offer greater flexibility, improved performance, and a more streamlined user experience. Administrators can now create a more focused and efficient interface for their users. This new feature enhances our alarm notifications. While users have been able to create notifications from various Cumulocity applications, managing them is generally challenging for end customers. This new feature aims to simplify that process. Before proceeding further, please note that this feature is currently available as a private preview. If you're interested in accessing it, please contact your customer success manager or reach out to me using the contact details below. Now let's take a look at the feature live. When you navigate to your alarms view and click on an alarm you are interested in, you will notice a new button labeled Watch Alarm. Clicking this button allows you to select the severity level for which you would like to receive email notifications. This two-click setup makes it incredibly easy to start receiving instant alarm notifications via email. In the top right corner, you will also see an option to set up notifications. This feature allows you to configure notifications for any asset on the platform, eliminating the need to navigate through different sections and ensuring efficient creation of the notifications rules. You can create notifications rules that filter alarms by assets, severity of the alarm, and alarm type, ensuring you receive notifications only for the most relevant alarms. Lastly, you can also access the email notification section from the right sidebar. This acts as a centralized hub where every user can view and manage their notification subscriptions from a single intuitive interface. You can easily disable any notification rule, enable the existing ones, or even delete them. You can also add new alarm notification rules from here, and as well as edit the existing one. These enhancements are designed to streamline your notification management process and improves your overall experience with Cumulocity IoT. The data point graph widget has been available as an extension and as an open source plugin for the past few quarters. We have recently implemented several enhancements to improve its functionality, such as support for alarm and events in the latest version. These improvements are a direct result of the valuable feedback we have received from our users. In our upcoming releases, this enhanced version will replace the data point graph widget. Additionally, it will be integrated into the Data Explorer, providing a more robust and user-friendly experience. We greatly appreciate your input and ideas. If you come across any issues while using the widget or have suggestions for further improvements, we encourage you to create GitHub issues. Your feedback is crucial in helping us to refine and optimize this widget. We continuously implement many small improvements based on insights from customer interviews and feedback from the Cumulocity IoT feedback portal. Here are some recent examples. In the alarm list widget, previously child alarms were always shown. With this change, a new toggle has been added to the widget configuration, which allows the users to either disable or enable the child alarms in the list. This provides users with more flexibility to customize a widget to their specific use cases and makes it easier to focus on the relevant top-level alarms. To access the complete list of changes, please scan the below QR code to view the changelog. These changelog details new features, bug fixes, and other improvements. If you'd like to share any suggestions or feedback, you can scan the QR code below or directly access the mentioned URL and navigate to feedback portal. We would be very happy to review your feedback and provide our response. Additionally, I have also included my contact information in the previous section in case you like to connect with the product management team. I would like to thank you for watching the video till the end. I appreciate your time and attention.
Hello and welcome to What's New in Platform Services. My name is Jane Porter and I'm the product manager for this area for Cumulocity IoT. So let's crack on then. Most of the work we've been doing in the past 3 months has been around security. So first off then, X509 certificate improvements. Up until now, the only way to obtain the token was using MQTT. So you'd have to connect using MQTT. We would actually check the certificate, and then you could use that token if you wanted to use another protocol. Now you don't have to use MQTT. We support X509 certificate authentication across HTTP as well as lightweight M2M. Please note the new port number if you want to use X509 over HTTP. Sticking with MQTT then, .NET libraries have a bit of a limitation. They can't send in a chain, they can only send a single device. So what we've now enabled is the ability to infer a device. So you need to send the adjacent certificate as a trust anchor, and then we can infer the rest of the chain. So for instance, if certificate 4 is the device certificate, then you will upload certificate 3 as the trust anchor, and then we can infer the rest of the chain and authenticate your device to Cumulocity IoT. So big improvement there for those of our customers who are running with MQTT. Sticking with security, this time with single sign-on, up until now the user ID claim could only be used via an access token. Not all identity and access managers use the access token. Some use the ID token. So we've now included that within the configuration options for Cumulocity IoT, with the benefit now, of course, that those IAM servers are now supported as part of the single sign-on configuration for Cumulocity IoT. For customers, we have some customers who do not like the idea of using wildcard certificates. So to be very clear, this is really for dedicated and self-hosted customers. This is not available for our SaaS customers. But what you can now do is not use a wildcard certificate. You can instead use a list of domains. To be very clear, it is the user responsibility to ensure that the SAN certificate has all of the appropriate domains in that certificate to support all of the tenants on your instance. But that is now supported. So if your organization doesn't like using wildcard certificates and you have a dedicated or self-hosted instance, then you can use the SAN certificate. Last but not least, messaging service limits. So up until now, the messaging service had pretty much an open approach to your infrastructure that you could actually take. And what we've decided to do is limit that. So this is in an effort to ensure that customers, if one customer has a consumer that isn't consuming quickly enough, or publisher that is flooding the system, that they don't spill over into and have an impact on the platform as a whole. So there's two areas here. Time to live. So this means that if messages are not consumed by the consumers in 36 hours, they will be deleted. And the message backlog has been altered from 2 gigabits to 25 megabits, and then on the microservice-based data broker to 50 megabits. So this is really to ensure that the messages, if the time to live isn't limiting appropriately, that the backlog will. And if you reach your quota on this, then no new messages will be added until older messages are consumed. If you feel that these limits are not appropriate for you, then please contact us. They are configurable, and we can change them once we understand your use case. So that is what we've been up to for the third quarter. My name is Jane Porter, and if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact me. Thank you.
Welcome to the What's New in Cumulocity IoT Data Hub. This covers new features in the second half of 2024. I'm Chris Furlong, and I'm the Product Manager for Cumulocity IoT Data Hub. First thing you'll notice when you come into Data Hub is we've made improvements to the home page. What we're trying to show here is what is actually currently going on in Data Hub right now. So we're trying to give the Data Hub manager a rapid overview so you can see how many jobs are running, what the kind of the disbursement of the successful jobs look like in time and row count, and if they've got any failed jobs. And you can also click on the job name, and it will dive straight into the statistics and details of that job that you previously get to from the offloading tab. The other area we've made improvements to is the additional columns UI. So now when you add an additional column, get a completely new UI which helps you build out and sample the data. So I can enter the column name I'm interested in and click Load Sample. Once I do that, I'll get some samples of the data, but I can then very easily click on an attribute, in this case in a struct, to promote that to be the column I'm interested in. And if necessary, I can override the data type, or I can let Data Hub automatically choose. Once I've configured that, I can refresh the sample data, change the name if I need to, and of course hit Save to continue, and then you've added your additional column. So you can still, if you want, directly enter the attribute in the column as you previously could in Data Hub, but if you don't quite know what the data looks like, this is a great way of actually drilling down into the attribute you want to add into an additional column. That's all I had for this. If you've got any further questions, please contact us. Thanks.